some trading strategies. And today's a little bit different. All right, I want to talk a little bit today about some realities, if you will, and also give people a little bit of tips and tricks on what they can do. One of the key things here is cryptocurrency isn't like trading isn't like trading stocks. Okay, if you make a bad trade, there's a time where you can unwind it, and there's things that you can do to protect yourself. But if you make a mistake with cryptocurrency, that's it. If you make a mistake and you send your Bitcoin somewhere wrong, or you make a bad trade, or you accidentally buy or sell, there's no unwinding it. So it's really important to be diligent in what you're doing. Now, I am not one to beat around the bush on things, so I want to just discuss something kind of head on with the group. And I think everybody is adult enough to hear what I'm about to say to them. Now, over the last, and I'm going to put my screen up on CCEX here, so we can kind of get a look at that. There's a couple of things that I want to show you guys here on CCEX and as well on the other exchanges. Number one, where is it? Number one, if you guys can see this number right here, 220,502 Bitkey. Okay, let's go over to CoinGather. 91,000 Bitkey. And let's go over to, let's take a look at Bitkey. Let's go over here, and you'll see 167,698 Bitkey. Jeremy, that's Bitkey that I bought in the open market.
Wow.
Besides that, there's about 500,000 Bitkey that I've already transferred to my Quick wallet. Now, there's a couple things there's a couple reasons. Number one, that I wanted to share that, but there's a couple things that I have to say in regard to that. Number one, it goes without saying that, as much as I know about cryptocurrency, and as close as I am with my, ear to the ground of what's happening in the industry, I want to reiterate and be very, very clear that me personally, I'm a buyer of Bitkey. I happen to think the amazing things about, what this company is doing and what Bitkey is all about. That being said, I need to clear some things up. Let's take a look at CCEX, because this is where we've been focusing. First of all, I've been seeing a lot on social media, and I follow it avidly. And for the things that I don't see, a lot of people send me messages. There is no such thing as being able to go online and exchange Bitkey for Bitcoin. It's what a lot of people are saying. In a happy way, they'll report online that, oh my goodness, this is so great, I was able to exchange my Bitkey for Bitcoin. I want to clear something up very, very clearly. There is no such thing as exchanging your Bitkey for Bitcoin. It doesn't exist. If you quote unquote exchange your Bitkey for Bitcoin, what you are doing is you are selling your Bitkey in the open market. Now, I'm not here to tell you one way or another, whether to sell or buy or anything. This is not any type of advice on what to do. Jeremy, you can have that call with the teams when corporate is not involved. I don't, you guys could take a look at what I do, and if you want to emulate what I do, great. I highly advise it, but I am not going to recommend buying or selling. What I do want to do, though, is I want to clear it up and basically make you understand that if you are going out in the market and you are telling people that you are exchanging your Bitkey for Bitcoin, it is not correct. There is no such thing. You are selling your Bitkey. Okay, now, we're on CCEX right now. And if you look at and Jeremy, you could see this, right? The left side of the screen where it says buy BQ for BTC, right?
Yes.
Okay, underneath it says sell orders. I hope everybody could see this. Right here, you see 725, 728, 729, 730, all of these orders. These are all people, probably some of you on this call right now, that have put your Bitkey up for sale. This is not your desire to trade Bitkey. This is you putting Bitkey up for sale. Now, again, whether we're talking about Bitkey or we're talking about something else, you have to understand something. This is a sale. This is you trying to sell a cryptocurrency. If you say, wait a minute, I am going to hold off, I'm not going to do this right now, you will see all of these things start to disappear. And then you will see the price of Bitkey go up. I hope you guys understand that. Again, whether it's Bitkey or whether it's some other cryptocurrency, you have to understand the way the market works. If you are selling your Bitkey, if you are saying, I am going to exchange my Bitkey, then you are essentially selling it. And you are sitting right here. And here between where it is right now at about 3 cents and right here, which is about 4 cents, 4.5 cents, right there, maybe that's 5 cents. You've got about 4 Bitcoin worth of Bitkey, which means someone or a group of people is going to have to spend 4 Bitcoin to get this, to get Bitkey up to this level of about 5 or 6 cents. Now, if you believe in Bitkey, now again, I'm not telling you to not sell. I'm not telling you to buy. I'm not telling you to do any of that. What I am telling you is that when you build a market, like we have had to build a market, when we go in, and I kind of explained this a little bit last week, when we opened up on CCEX, there were no buys and there were no sells. There was no price. We had to build the market from the ground up. How do we do that? Well, we go in and we put up buy orders. We tell everybody, hey, listen, we're on the exchange, so you can go and buy Bitkey. We will seed a little bit of Bitkey in there for sell orders, so new people coming in have some Bitkey to buy, but we do it a little bit higher. That's why a lot of you noticed that when Bitkey first launched on CCEX, it was like 20 cents or 25 cents. And why was that? Because we're not gonna put Bitkey for sale at 3 or 4 cents. We want the market to be higher, and we believe in the price of the token. So that's where we place the market. Then what we do is we go out to the traders, the people that are active on the exchange, and we tell them about the company, and we tell them about the merits of the token and why we think it's a good place to be and why we think they should buy it and stick with it. And it takes, in some cases, a month or two to build a market where people are going to sit and they're going to watch and they're going to see what happens, and then they will build from there. You follow me so far, Jeremy? Because you're the only one I could actually talk to here.
Absolutely.
All right. So here's the situation. As we got on these exchanges, people got a little bit ahead of themselves. For one reason or another, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It just is what it is. They got ahead of themselves. They got on the exchanges, and they decided, oh, wow, this is a great time. I'm going to take some profits. I am going to get my money back. So I'm going to sell some Bitkey into the market and get my money back. Well, we've got a pretty big field of affiliates. So if 1,000 people go say, I'm going to go get my money back, that's going to keep the price of Bitkey at around 2 cents, because all you're doing is selling. If to do it the right way, and again, whether this is Bitkey or someone else, and I'm not telling you to buy or sell, I'm just telling you how to manage this the right way. To manage it the right way is you let the market mature a little bit, and then you feed little blocks into the market. Like there's a few people here, if you look on my screen, this person right here, 158,000 Bitkey they want to sell. That's 1.42 Bitcoin. Here's one right here, holding us at 728. 45,805 Bitkey for sale. That's a third of a Bitcoin. That's way more than just getting a little bit of your money out. So you know, if you know the people that are doing this, tell them, hey guys, you know, you'll be able to get a lot more for your Bitkey if you let the market mature a little bit. Be a little patient. You guys were patient so far. Think about it. When a lot of people got their Bitkey to begin with, what was it? It was a penny or penny and a half. So now we're at 3 cents. The money has doubled. It's only going in the right direction. Since we launched on the exchanges, so many things, so many great things have happened at beqyck that how can you look on and say, well, you know what, now is a good time to get out. Now is the time that you not only attach your cart to the beqyck horse, but you strap yourself on, you duct tape yourself to that horse. I mean, you do whatever you have to be part of what's going on with this company, because there's some amazing things happening. And to go and sell your Bitkey into the market and hold the price down and not get what you deserve for it, it just doesn't make sense. So I want to touch on, in the conversation the conversation teaser, I will say, that we put out on Facebook. What is the one thing that, if it happened, would quadruple the price of Bitkey? Well, if it's the people in the company that are looking to get some money out, just said, you know what, I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to wait for this thing to mature just a little bit longer, and I am going to cancel my sell orders. That will change the face of what you see here on CCEX. When all of these people, and these little ones, these are no big deal. I mean, look, these are easy to eat through, and I'm sure people would be happy to buy Bitkey at this price. But if the people that are sitting on 20,000, 45,000, 39,000, 158,000, 35,000, 60,000, if people like that said, you know what, I'm gonna cut that way down and just take a little bit now so that the market has a chance to mature, then what you're going to see, Jeremy, is you're going to see Bitkey at a price where we all hope it would be. And it could realistically, get there. Now, I'll tell you, I had the same issue on the other exchange. We were doing great over here on, this is Coin Exchange. And all of a sudden, we started getting hit. Here's 17,000, 17,000, 20,000. There was someone in here for 100,000 earlier, and they removed their bid, their offer. Coin Gather, same thing. You've got people in here. Look at this: 25,000, 20,000, 15, 12, 90,000, 40, 40, 61. Do you guys realize that if you did trading in moderation, and when I mean trading, I mean selling, if you did a little bit of selling in moderation, it would change the face of the pricing for the cryptocurrency. Again, to reiterate for those of you that have joined us in the last 5 minutes, when people talk about exchanging Bitkey for Bitcoin, that doesn't actually exist. It is truly their desire to sell Bitkey into the market. So call it what it is. If you're telling people that you're exchanging, don't tell them that anymore. Be honest and tell them that you are selling your Bitkey. Now, I've never been one to really hold back, so here's what I'm going to tell you. Personally, I wouldn't sell my Bitkey. I wouldn't do that. But, at this stage, to sell Bitkey is like telling all the leaders and the people that have done so much to get the company where it is that, you know what, I really don't necessarily believe in where the company's going. So I'm gonna give up my ownership, and I am gonna get rid of this token. This token, which could realistically, triple, quadruple, go up to 50 cents, $1, $5. this is the only token that we know of that has such substance behind it in terms of the real business verticals driving, the value of the company. This isn't a joke. This is a real opportunity, guys, to create long-term wealth. So if you're one of the people that are in there, nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows any of these details. I am going to tell you this. Do this in moderation. Okay? Don't sell large blocks. Even if you want to sell, do yourself a favor. Eliminate the large blocks and sell smaller blocks, because it's easier for people to digest smaller blocks than to look and say, oof, that's a lot. So do it in moderation. Sell a little bit. Wait a day or two. Sell a little bit more. Do it the right way. Otherwise, you're going to end up in a position where you may not get any sales, and other people may step in and say, wow, the market's just sitting here. I guess I need to go lower. And then the price goes down. Now, I could tell you, if I asked for a show of hands right now, of the 180 something people that are sitting on this webinar, I would say every single one of you would raise your hand if I said, how many of you, show of hands, want Bitkey to be 15 cents per token? I don't think there'd be any question, right? And by the way, just for those of you guys can't see this, you can't see the admin control panel, but the hands, it's like it's flashing. I mean, people are raising their hands and clicking that little hand button like you wouldn't believe. So if you believe in Bitkey like we believe in Bitkey, here's what I'm going to suggest you do. For me, and I'm going to tell you, if Jeremy, I'll talk to you like, we were friends for 20 years. And you're saying to me, Mike, what do we do here? I'm going to tell you as my friend what I'm doing. And I showed it to you guys before. You see it right here. Let's have this in our heads. 220,000 plus 167,000. Right there is what? That's 390,000 plus 91,000, 480,000 plus another 500,000 that I already transferred. That's 1 million Bitkey that I have personally bought into the market. Why would I do something like that? Now, remember, guys, the other day there was a lot of panic around Bitcoin. And a lot of you tuned in to the video. In fact, we got thousands of viewers on the video that Jeff Wilson and I did, where we talked about panic and Bitkey and Bitcoin and China. And that morning, Bitcoin was 3,000. And I told everyone, I said, be patient. Not only is this thing going to jump up, but it's going to jump up fast, and it's going to go further than you can imagine. And today, Bitcoin went back over 4,100. Honestly, it went faster than I thought to get back to that level. And now there are experts saying that this is the push that it needs to go, 6,000, 7,000, 10,000. This is no joke. And Bitcoin is great, but it's just a cryptocurrency. And its blockchain is specific to just being a cryptocurrency. It's just a ledger for cryptocurrency. It's the most simplistic blockchain ledger that you can have. So when you look at what Bitkey is and what Bitkey has the potential of doing, what we've got is we have got an Ethereum token. We've got smart contracts built into Bitkey already. What smart contracts? Well, let's just look at the one most important one. Every Bitkey you own, you also own 1/10 share in beqyck. For that reason alone, I wouldn't sell even one Bitkey. Not one. I wouldn't sell one. I would take my sell orders out of there so quickly it would make your head spin. That being said, Bitkey has so much potential. Why? Because what you've got is a token supported by an ecosystem of real business verticals. I'm not going to do the show of hands thing again because I know just about everyone's going to raise their hand. But think about it and think to yourself, Did you buy the Quick MD package? Thousands and thousands of people did. Did anyone buy an FPO? Thousands of people did that. And what about other product offers? Travel Key. You're talking about tens of thousands of people that are in an ecosystem of products and services, and they're being rewarded with this cryptocurrency. Of course, the cryptocurrency is going to go up. It has no choice because it's supported by real businesses. And here's a company that doesn't focus on the cryptocurrency as the driver. The verticals drive the business. The cryptocurrency is behind. If the cryptocurrency drove the business, well, that would be a whole different story. So, folks, I want to be, I can't emphasize enough how, important it is to understand that what we have is something very, very special. And, this is a fact, and many of you just saw what I just did because when a low price comes aboard, I'm not going to let it go. I don't know. Did you see that, Jeremy?
Yeah, it's pretty quick. So explain.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to say here, a lot of people are probably asking here. If you look at the line item number 1, I guess 489.0491. You see that right there.
Yeah, I do.
The BTC amount is 0.003. So that is the total price of 489 coins. But then when you look at, see, that changed for a second. Okay. For whatever reason, that right side is larger. The BTC total cost was different than the BTC amount.
Oh, this right here? Yeah, it's the same now. This right column is the cumulative column. So here's an example. If I wanted to buy a bunch, I know that right here, individually, right here, I would spend 0.003 to buy this block. I would spend 0.001 to buy this block, 0.01 to buy this block, you see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But let's say I want to buy all of these blocks. Let's say I want to click right here. Where's that? Right there.
The right column is the cumulative of all of them. I got you.
Correct. So then I got it right in there. I click buy, and now I just bought all that. Now, for some reason, it put me up here for 94. I'm not going to stay up there because I have other plans for building up the buy side. But, think about what we just did here in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Here now, Bitkey is at, now it's at 760. And it's the power of this currency is very, very strong. Now we're only realistically about a half a Bitcoin away from being $8.99, and $8.99 at this stage is almost 4 cents. It's like 3.7 cents. That's a very strong, place to be. But you see now here what you got. You had someone that just went in and sold all of this. Where is it? Right there. From here, all of this. They just wiped out all of those sell orders, all of those buy orders. So, and again, look, that's someone's prerogative. They want to buy and they want to sell. They can do that all day long. But look what they just did. Okay, that was almost a steal right there. And by the way, guys, that is one of the ways that I buy a lot of my Bitkey is I'll literally sit here, and if someone puts something up and it's like well below the market, don't wait too long, because like I told you, I am a buyer. Look, for those of you that don't really know me that well, let me tell you a little bit about my cryptocurrency background, and then you can make the decision of whether or not to listen to me. It was November of 2009, and one of my friends was showing me this program. It was this new hardware that they had gotten, and they said, "Yeah, we're mining this digital currency." And I'm like, "What in the world?" I had never even heard that sentence. Like, if someone would have said, "Oh, we're mining digital currency," I'd been like, those words together don't even make sense. And And then they started sharing with me like the merits of what this the ledger was and all of that. And I really didn't understand it, but what I knew based on what they were saying is this was big. And I've been fortunate to be involved in some very big things in the past. I was a pioneer in the domain name industry. I made a lot of money and did very well in that. And the internet early on, social media early on. So when they started explaining this to me, I didn't have to take too much time to think about it. I looked at it and I'm like, all right, I'm in. What do I need to do? And they're like, well, you know, you can buy some of this equipment and then, you know, you hook it up to your computer and, you know, they're talking to me about this computing power and, you know, how much bandwidth I have. And I'm like, oh man, my head hurts. And then I learned about like cloud mining services, and there was CEX, which is now just an exchange, CEX.io. They used to have cloud mining, and Butterfly Labs, they had cloud mining, and this was back in 2010. In the beginning of 2010, I started mining Bitcoin, and I remember when I had some, and there was a value of like 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is cool, but you know, what am I going to do with this? But it's cool. And I owned a lot of it. And then, you know, eventually over time, there was a viable market for it. And I remember it was like $10 and then $40. I mean, it went up and down for a while early on, but it was very exciting. I mean, it was really interesting that, you know, this whole brand new market came on. And by the way, when you talk about like market making, like I understand this because I have a background in the stock market. I was a licensed stockbroker. I you know, knew a lot about the trading side and the market making side. So this was a big part of my early career. So to be able to go in and you know, look at cryptocurrency that was brand new in a way that I was able to trade stocks, this was like a dream for me. So from 2010 to about 2013, I bought and sold Bitcoin. I understood the market like the back of my hand. I mean, there were very few of us. Heck, there's very few of us now that really understand it, including the people on this call. You know, we're part of a very, very special group of people that have an opportunity that a lot of people in the world don't even know about yet. And that's the way I felt with Bitcoin. When I was mining Bitcoin, it was like I was one of the only people in the world to know about it. And I couldn't believe that I had this opportunity to make money off something that I knew was going to be so big and so impactful to the world as a whole. I wasn't just about the cryptocurrency. I understood, and it took me probably until about 2013, maybe 2014, to really understand the true impact of what the blockchain was and why it was going to be quite possibly the most disruptive technology ever. Now, there are technologies that have come out that were fantastic and disruptive. But, you know, if you guys would, if there's a show of hands of how many of you actually are liquid for $400 million right now? Anybody? Yeah, I didn't think so. When Bill Gates, who I consider to be fairly smart money, puts $400 million into a technology, it's a pretty good shot that it's got some legs, that it's got a chance of succeeding. Richard Branson, who I think is one of the most brilliant businessmen in the world. I mean, it's not just about his airline. He created an empire under the Virgin brand, music stores and mobile and airlines. And I mean, it's amazing what he's done. He's doing the same thing and putting his money where his mouth is behind the blockchain. This is not just a good idea. This is a great idea. In 2013, 2014, things leveled off with Bitcoin. I sold a lot of it. In fact, in 2013, Bitcoin topped off what I remember was maybe 650, 700. And then in 2014, it started backing off. So I was selling out my Bitcoin throughout that time. And then I sat on the sideline for about a year or so before I got back in because things started really heating up again. The point of the whole story, number one, is for those of you that don't really know that part of my background, it's good that you do, because when I offer advice on what's going on with Bitkey, it's not because I like it or I think the coin looks cool, which it does, but there's more to it. There's substance behind it. Like I can see when I have a lot of programs and a lot of software that shows me trends in not just Bitkey, but all the cryptocurrencies. And I'm able to look on and see what's going on with the cryptocurrencies. If you guys are not excited about where Bitkey is and where Bitkey is going, then you need to check your pulse. If you're not excited about what's going on with beqyck, then raise your hand and slap yourself with it, because there's stuff going on here that nobody is doing. And you don't have to know everything about it. It's good to have a basic understanding. What is the blockchain? What is cryptocurrency? How do the exchanges work? It's good. It's smart to know that. But to understand all of the nuances of the technology, it's not as important as just being there. I've said this on conference calls before, and I'm going to say it again. Success leaves clues. If you want to be successful, do two things. Number one, hang out with successful people. And number two, do what successful people do. This is just, I'm so surprised that people don't follow those rules in their everyday life more. What we're sitting on right now is something so amazing. Now listen, it's 9:34 Eastern time right now. It's 8:34 Central time. And Scott Brewster, who is a tremendous leader and a great friend, not only to the people in his group, but to the entire company, opens up his Facebook wall every day to talk about QuickMD, which is arguably one of the most disruptive products that any of these companies have. Now, can you go to MD Live or your insurance and buy a product like QuickMD? Yes. But you know what you're not going to get? You're not going to get Bitkey, and you're not going to get BitKey, and you're not going to earn commission, and you're going to have to pay copays. People, it's time to wake up. It's time to realize that we are paving a path that doesn't exist. Oh yeah, heck yeah, I'm buying that. We are paving a path, and I'm not a seller. Yeah, we are paving a path that doesn't exist. Okay, I'm talking to my good friend Troy Dooley recently. Okay, Troy says to me when he's looking at what we're doing, he says, Mike, he says, you know what's interesting about beqyck? He says, you guys are pioneers. And I'm like, okay, how so? He says, pioneers, there's explorers, right? Explorers will take a look and they'll have an understanding of what the lay of the land is, and then they'll go explore and they'll find stuff. Pioneers have no idea. They are the ones at the front. They're paving the path. They are the ones who are creating the way for everyone behind them. Never, ever before has a company embedded the stock of the company in their cryptocurrency and then put the power in the hands of the people holding the token. Tell me that is not powerful. Look at our currency and tell me that's not powerful, because here's what I will tell you right now. And again, I'm not giving you investment advice, but I'm telling you that if people that are not buyers of Bitkey right now, you guys, that they're crazy. If someone says to you, I don't know about all that, this is a load of junk, let them go, because you know what's going to happen? It's going to do the same thing. When I told people that I was mining Bitcoin and they laughed at me and they're like, you're wasting your time. How much did you spend on that mining equipment? How much did you spend on that cloud service? And I looked at them and I'm like, well, maybe they're right. Heck no, they weren't right. Are you kidding me? I made a ton of money. And you know what? It's going to be the same here. Jeremy, you and I had a talk 2 days ago. What was it about? What do you want to do with the cryptocurrency?
Well, I'm going to, I've been talking about this for 6 months, but, now it's becoming more reality with what we're about to do here. And I'm super excited about, being one of the spearheaders of this activity starting tomorrow. But I'm going to be, focused on. I actually just talked to the title company. As a matter of fact, yesterday, Mike, I was talking to you about this. I've been doing a lot of research, and there is a title company that will, sell a house for cryptocurrency, set up the title and everything. So it'd be very interesting. And it's one of me and my wife talked about this for 6 months, and it's becoming more and more a reality as we grow the price of this coin over the next 3 months. I know where it's going to go if everybody will just pay attention, be a team player. One of the things I wanted to say, Mike, I know you said a lot of passionate things, bro, and it's awesome. But a lot of the most successful coins out there, guys, are coins that are backed by huge communities. And we didn't touch on that tonight. I touched on that like 2 weeks ago. But, some of these coins that are in the $200 to $300 range, guys, they're like parrot heads that follow Jimmy Buffett. I mean, but that's us. We're doing something so different. So we have our own parrot head story here with the verticals. That's the belief. We're not going to a Jimmy Buffett concert. I'm using it as an example, guys, so you understand what's really going on. Okay. You all hold Bitkey. You know the story, but then you got guys out here that are putting, look, 11,000 Bitkey for sale. Well, let me just ask you guys a question. If you knew what Bitcoin was going to do, would you sell 11,000 Bitcoin at 3 or 4 cents? I mean, I know that sounds stupid, but think about that. And I'm not comparing it to the price of Bitcoin, whether it be ever that high, doesn't really matter. If it does 5% of what Bitcoin has done, it's a home run for everybody. So why in the world would you go out there and sell off 11,662 Bitkey for 3 cents, give or take, knowing that this is the time period over the next 90 days that we're going to do the things that it takes as a community to get the attention of the coin for all of the crazy traders out there. Guys, listen, people are watching this right now. So if you're selling into the market like Mike's talking about, you are hurting the price of the coin and company that you own, and that's stupid. And I'm going to say that because I can. You can get mad at me all you want, but I'm just telling you that there is a strategy here, very, very clear, and we're going to start practicing. Practice makes perfect. A lot of you guys are saying on here, I don't understand. I don't get it. It doesn't matter. You didn't know how to turn on a TV once, but, you figured out, and then now you watch it and you're doing pretty good with it. You learn how to use the remote. You learn how to probably, dim the color settings or whatever, right? So the same things here. At least you have people that are willing to spend their time to show you how to participate as a company owner, fellow company owner of the coin and stockholder to ultimately grow the price of the coin, which is why everybody here got involved in the first place and the dynamic story that it is. Mike, back to you.
Oh, man. Dude, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, and you know what, guys? This is an exciting time. I mean, years ago, and a lot of you that are, and thank you guys for hanging in for 40 minutes now. It's really great. Here's the interesting thing. How many times have you heard a presentation where someone said to you, and obviously you just have to think yourself right now. How many times has someone said, well, what if you could have been involved in Google? Well, what if you could have been involved in Facebook? Well, what if you could have been involved in Microsoft and all of that stuff?
Yep.
You guys are. I mean, it's not like, well, what if? Oh my gosh, I hope that comes around. Hello, you are here. You did it. You did it, and you're here. And I want to congratulate you guys. You're killing it. You're on board, and you're making it happen, guys. Listen, what we have here is something very special.
Mm-hmm.
please just understand, if you're out there and you are trying to, what you are trying to, the challenge that a lot of us have is maybe there's not a lot of understanding of the right way to do this. And a lot of people are saying, maybe people are trying to help, or, maybe there are ways that, if they sell and then they buy it back lower, maybe they're helping, understand there's good strategies, and there's bad strategies. And, selling or keeping your Bitkey there to sell. And again, I'm not telling you to buy or sell right now. I'm just telling you that if you keep your Bitkey in the sell column, you're kind of becoming a speed bump for moving forward. And that's going to be with any cryptocurrency. So that being said, guys, listen, this is a great time. And I hope that you all heard my heart tonight. I hope that you all, paid close attention to what it is we're looking to do, and what this, opportunity holds for all of you. This is a very special company. There are things, obviously there are things that I might know about that you might not know about just because of my role with the company. That being said, I'm not going to give you advice because that would not be, fair, but obviously you know that I'm a buyer. So listen, Jeremy, I am going to turn this back over to you to close. Guys, I am going to work closely with Jeremy to share with him some of the tricks and the tips to be safe in your trading, and to be smart, to do it right. And then he's going to be able to share it with all of you. So I want to thank you guys for listening to me. Thank you for being part of this mission and this company. We have some very, very good things going on. If you have questions, remember, you can go to bitqy.org right here. Mm-hmm. You can click on this contact form and fill out the form, and it'll come to us, and then we will be able to handle it. Okay. So just remember, all positive things. And by the way, so just so you see what just happened, right now it's showing the price at 606. Why is that? It's because someone just sold at 606. So that will reflect on CoinMarketCap as a last price of 606. So for me, I see the positive momentum. Besides, I was going to buy that one anyway. But I like seeing this thing move forward. Look at that. We're on the call for less than an hour, and a lot of people kind of moved out of the way, and I'm hoping that some people got in there and bought. Again, you don't have to do what I'm doing and buy full blocks. You can click on it. You could change this and say, you know what, I just want to buy 1,000 Bitkey. Or you can click on it and you can say, you know what, I don't want to spend, okay, that was the new one came up. I don't want to spend all of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 0.001, and that's it. And you're going to just get a little bit of Bitkey.
Yeah, and Mike, that comes that block, that individual, just explain to them. So if they type in the amount to buy from that block, it'll just take out that amount of Bitkey from that block, and it'll just minus what they've purchased.
Correct.
So absolutely, they don't have to buy the whole block, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about tomorrow, guys. And real quick, Mike, I don't know if you are you did you still want something to explain? Okay, because you're on to something there.
Yeah.
I didn't want to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But one of the things I wanted to say, quick story, Mike, I think you'll enjoy this. And you and I were talking about this yesterday. I just went out to eat, a little double date yesterday with my wife and her childhood best friend. Right. And her friend, check this out, Mike, you guys will love this story. Entrepreneur guy, I've heard about him for 5 years, actually never met him. But a lot of his friends have been talking to him about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. So long story short, Julian, Kristen talk all the time. And so she told him, like, well, you got to talk to Julie's husband because that's kind of what he does. And I think that he's probably the most trustworthy person out of anybody you're talking to. So anyway, so we went out to eat last night and he's just talking about this stuff. So I shifted his mindset to Bitkey, and I told him like the story, how, I was basically there at the beginning, one of the first people into Bitkey. I was actually there with Bruce and Sam when they wrote it out on a napkin before basically anybody heard about it. It's kind of fortunate I don't even know if you guys know this story, but I was there when they were telling me about, what they were going to do. So I've really literally been here since the beginning. And I wanted to say something. So this guy's all hung up on Bitcoin. And so I'm showing him my widget, where I have all the coins and I watch like what's going on. And Bitcoin was down at 3,000 and it had spiked back to $3,900, like at the time that we were eating yesterday. So I said, look, man, we got into a company that's backed by all these verticals. So I started explaining everything to him, the pitch. And, Bitcoin was at 2 cents, just like we've all talked about. And, Bitkey, is around 2-3 cents right now on these public exchanges. And I told him, I said, that would be like Bitcoin. And I said, our goal, my goal, along with, our group of traders and everything, and all the people, the leaders of the company that are really going to start implementing this strategy, along with what the verticals are already doing, guys. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like, Mike, if Bitkey goes to 40 cents, and I'm just saying this as an example, so you guys can understand math here. It's just simple math. So that's 20 times. Okay. So if Bitkey goes to 40 cents, it's 20 times growth from where it's, let's just say at 2 cents. That would be like, and that's what I was telling this guy last night. That would be like, buying Bitcoin now at 4,000 and it goes to 80,000 a coin. That's not realistic right now. So, and I said, you can only get one coin at 4,000. I said, if you put $4,000 into Bitkey and it goes to 40 cents, how much better did you do? You got 100,000 times more coins and it grew the same amount of growth 20 times. It's the same math. It's the same money. You either spend $4,000 on one coin or you spend whatever on Bitkey. So it just, the light bulb went off. So, and I say that to you guys because I want you to understand that that's really going to be my mantra. Understand that. You got a coin right now. We don't have to go that far. And that would be like buying, 100,000 Bitcoin, which that would cost you $4 million, which none of you have that kind of money. Maybe some of you do. So, or you can spend, $1,000 or $2,000, right? And we do the same incremental growth, and it's the same amount of profit to you based on Bitcoin to USD. It's insane. So you guys have no idea how crazy that is, but I need you to really get that in your head. And, if you guys are one of those big sell orders, just trust me. I'm going to say this because I can. Don't be an idiot. Pull it off. Wait. Be patient. You've already waited 6 months. Now is the time that we go and we quarterback the game, and we're going to start pushing towards the Super Bowl. Now that it's in our sights now, we can see down the field. We're not in the forest anymore. The meadow's now opening up, and we can see a field, and we can see the end goal because now we're on the exchanges. So now we have a plan. And just like I talked about, coins like Dash Coin and some of those bigger coins that are doing $300 a coin, it all started with amazing communities that were like paired heads. And so let's be those paired heads for beqyck and Bitkey, and let's roll together and let's be one accord.
So Jeremy, and here's what I'll say. You see all of these bids right here. I mean, all of these sell orders right here. These are all, it's very small. I mean, we've got 185 people or so still on the call 50 minutes later. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us. But seriously, if everyone had 0.1 Bitcoin, can you imagine that would be, 18 Bitcoin? Think about where, the price would go. Now, obviously, we want to level that off on the different exchanges. So, you go here, you level it off at a certain point, then you jump over to you know, to coin exchange and, you know, and maybe buy some in here, do something that way. Coin gather, same thing. You know, you get it cheap. Why do you get it cheap? Because goodness, you know, if I'm looking on right now, and you know, I have a good amount of Bitcoin, so I'm definitely in here as a buyer. But if you guys want, you know, I really do believe that this is cheap. You know, this is going to be cheap well into 4 zeros with a 2 or 3. I mean, this is like if today you woke up and you look at the price of Bitcoin at 4,100 and someone said, hey, do you want some Bitcoin? I'll sell it to you for, I don't know, $200. You know, how many of you would do that? Everyone would do that. There's no question about it.
Yeah, you'd be selling everything you own just to get as many as you could if you had that crystal ball.
Yeah. So listen, again, I don't have a crystal ball on Bitkey, but what I will tell you is I am obviously very bullish on it because I just bought 45,000 Bitkey while I was on this webinar. I hope you guys, you know, take this information and have an absolutely fantastic night. For those of you that are going to move forward with the training with Jeremy tomorrow, do it. Just do it. Like, don't be one of those people that sits on the sideline. I've said this on calls before. You know, you can't win if you're not in the game. You can't score if you're not on the field. You know, if you and a friend of mine, I was down in the Bahamas years ago, and I was sitting at a blackjack table, and I'm looking at my hand, and I was young. It's got to be 25 years ago, and he looks at me and he says, "No matter what you have under there, just understand you can't win if you're not in the game." And it really struck me, like, you know, as like a life mantra. Like, if you don't take the steps that other people aren't willing to take, then you're not going to get the results that other people are expecting you to get when you present them with an idea like this. You understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, if you want to be great, do great things. If you want to have an extraordinary life, you have to take some risks. You have to, at some point in your life, say, this might be the opportunity I've been waiting for. This might be the chance. And then embrace it. And then look at the success of the people around you and say, you know what? I am glad I'm here. I don't ever have to go anywhere else. This is my home now. This is what I'm doing. And everyone is going to know about it. You know what? At the end of the day, I am going to be like, this is level playing field, guys. Anyone could be the next Bitkey millionaire. Anyone. Because it's free to join. Just keep that in mind. With that in mind, guys, we're just about at an hour. I am floored and humbled that you guys have stuck with us this entire time. I think it's wonderful. I'm very appreciative. If anyone knows the person that just put up 27,000 Bitkey for sale at 720, if you would just drive over to their house and slap them, that would be great. And on that note, I want to thank you guys again. This weekend, I have the pleasure of going with Ed Krasinski to an event in New York, and we're going to be doing beqyck live presentations. We will broadcast it, so I'm excited about that. And that's going to be Saturday from New York, and then the following week I'll be in Alaska. So the next 2 weeks I will not be on these webinars. My advice is, you know, just keep the momentum going. This is a very exciting time. It is really my true pleasure and honor to spend this night with you guys and to talk with you about the excitement behind this company. and what's happening here. It's great to be on board. I know I speak for the entire executive team when we express our gratitude and appreciation for how powerful and impactful you guys have been in sharing the message of BitQuick out in the public. So thank you for that. Jeremy, thank you for spearheading these events, giving people a forum to listen and to hear. For those of you that have stuck with us now an hour, I hope you guys have a fantastic night. Remember, you can go to bitqy.org and send us messages if you need to. But I advise you to stay connected to your key 12 leaders. I see quite a few of them on this webinar tonight. I want to thank you guys so much for supporting this. And I also see some of my my business partners from corporate on the line. So I want to thank you guys for taking the time to listen in also. I'm looking here. I see people from literally all corners of the earth on this webinar. It is humbling. It's exciting. I know that this is going to be a great future for all of us. So so let's just sit back, take a deep breath, put a smile on your face because you're in the right place at the right time. And for goodness sake, would you just go buy some Bitkey?
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And guys, thanks. And Mike, thanks so much for coming out tonight, brother. This was I think this was definitely our best webinar out of the two. And they just keep getting better. And one thing, guys, is real quick in closing, I posted the link on the BitQuick and the beqyck Facebook page. It's the pinned post. So go register for that. It's tomorrow night. And for those of you that have other Facebook groups that are admins or spearheading those other groups, go ahead and copy and paste that, share it with your group. Let's get as many people as we can on here. And I say this, come prepared. Make sure that your account's already set up and send some Bitcoin to your account, because this is going to be all about swiping up Bitkey, at these lower prices as these knuckleheads are putting out there so low with lots of Bitkey. And I just say that because it is what it is. So we're going to clean that up, the believers, and we're going to price it at the price that we know it should be. And that's going to be the ultimate goal. So tomorrow, guys, we're going to, I just, if you guys don't have any Bitcoin and you're confused about getting it, just send me a message on Facebook and I'll help you. I'll send you in the right direction. And just get as much as you can, 0.1, 0.2. Those of you that have a little bit more money, come with 0.5. It's only going to pay you back in huge dividends. With that being said, Mike, thanks again, bro. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Send me a Facebook if you need help, on getting prepared tomorrow, because you cannot participate on the over-the-shoulder stuff that we're going to do if your account's not set up and you don't have Bitcoin. So don't come to the webinar tomorrow just to be a looky-loo. Come to be a player. Come to be a participator. So please get your account set up before tomorrow night with CSEX and C-CEX. I just say that because it's so fast. And then, and get some Bitcoin in there. Okay. And there is a video that shows you exactly how to do that over on beqyck.com. If you guys have any questions on that. So just be diligent and honor and respect your business, your company, your coin. With that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow night.